I guess, you know, that old saying, you know, where well, about good, you know, evil thriving where good men fear to tread.
Yes.
You know, is that the problem here? I mean, there are very few people who actually stood up and said anything. Why do you think that people didn't?
I speak for myself. I speak for everybody who had a chance to voice out. I believe we were all too concerned about our own rice bowl. Everyone has their liabilities, everyone have their vulnerabilities, and they could not afford going against Rosmah.
People keep on blaming her for the corruption and the murders in this country. I mean, why is that, do you think? I mean,
I think that Najib would not have gone so far. He would not have. He would have been involved in dabbling in a bit of corruption. And of course, as a Prime Minister, there's a lot of inducement that comes your way. But not to this extent, not to daylight robbery like this. And not in such a stupid way. It's actually done without taking into consideration your pride, your dignity, the dignity of the position you hold. Everything else, everything was swept aside. What mattered was how much money comes in today. 100 million, 1 billion, 300 million every day. A new 7, 8, 9 figure was being dealt with. A new deal was being struck.
and what was she doing with that money?
Well, she's got a lot of jewelry, and she's got a vault in Dubai with much more jewelry than what's here.
She's got a,
She's got a vault, a bank vault in Dubai with lots more money than what's in Malaysia. She's a very rich lady. You know, Najib and Rosmah stole at least 100 billion ringgit from Malaysia. At least.
How do you know that?
I've configured all the dealings that they did. I know that some of the contracts that they have awarded, the percentage that they asked for these contracts. You take all the figures together, you add 1 MDB, you've got 100 plus billion.
How much is in the vault in Dubai?
I wish I knew, but we will find out. We will get there.
Do you know where the vault in Dubai is, and are you giving evidence?
I'm giving whatever evidence I have to the government. I have been supporting the government all the way. I even made a deal with Najib last week. Najib, if you return the 100 billion ringgit, I will personally speak to the government to give you a full pardon. We will absolve you of all crimes. We can pay down our debt by 100 billion. You are left scot-free. You can do whatever you want, and even if the government says no, I will seek a full pardon from the king for you. I will personally do that.
And do you think you would have the power to achieve that? I mean,
Well,
why would he believe that you were going to be able to do that?
Well, someone's got to tell him, because if he's foolish enough not to do it, and if he continues lying and lying and lying to everybody who he has not fooled because they didn't vote for him, he's going to end up in the slammer. And I can assure you that Najib cannot survive in jail. He just can't. He's not built for such things.
You know him reasonably well, and you know we're observing him now, and well, there's massive allegations against him throughout the world. He's saying it's a witch hunt. He's denying any involvement. What would be, if you could put yourself in his mind, you know, knowing him, what do you think's going on?
He's living in his own figments of imagination. He's construed this great lie that he's not guilty, that he didn't steal the money, that the money was stolen by people because he did not observe them well enough, because he trusted them. But the fact remains, a major chunk of the money was stolen by him and Rosmah. But he's living in this figment of his own imagination. Now, he's a logical fellow. There will be a crunch time when the convictions start coming in, not just the convictions on 1 MDB, but also the convictions on the murder cases. And when it's crunch time, I will call him and I will ask him to use his logic and stop being foolish. Stand up, meet the government, agree to return the money. Tell us where the money is, which offshore account. Tell us what is the password to these offshore accounts. We'll take back the money. We'll even agree to say that the money was not with you. Let the money come back to Malaysia.
So tell me, where is your class action, your idea for the class action at the moment? How long is it before you will be...
We prepared most of the legal documents. We most probably will start filing from Monday onwards. We're just waiting for the case management on PI Bala, and then we start the filing of these cases.
And how many other businessmen are involved?
I have 4 senior business people who have agreed to come in. We are getting them to appoint the same lawyers. And once this will be there, it will be very clear to the general public that it's not just the government that has been defrauded by Najib and Rosmah, but businessmen who have earned money the hard way over 1, 2, 3 generations even. They have been defrauded by Najib and Rosmah. They have given monies to them. These monies have been taken, and we want to seize assets that belong to Najib and Rosmah, both in Malaysia, in the UK, in Singapore, in Hong Kong, that were purchased before 1 MDB, on which the government has no right to claim these assets because these assets were actually purchased before 1 MDB using our money. I know most of these assets. I know where the properties are. I was involved in some of the projects, and we will go after these assets.
And those assets overseas, what sort of value?
Properties that I know of, about 2.5 billion ringgit. That's enough to cover us.